In a time when capturing a moment required more than just the click of a button, when every picture was a rare glimpse into a world vastly different from our own, these old photographs have become windows to another era, grasping the essence of humanity in moments preserved forever in time. What impact could these photos have on our view of the good old days? Join us as we unravel 50 unusually old photos that will change your perspective on the past. Number 50. Albina Mali. In 1941, at the age of 16, Albina Mali joined the Slovenian People's Liberation Movement. By the time she turned 17, she was actively involved in resisting the Nazi occupation. During her courageous efforts, a photo of her was taken as she got injured in battle not once, but twice at 17, and once at 18. Mali ended up losing an eye and scars on her face. Number 49. German Soldiers Reunion. In a breathtaking photograph in 1956, a German soldier came back to Germany after being held captive in the Soviet Union. He had been taken away to fight when his son was only a year old. Finally, after a decade of being apart, he returned home to reunite with his family. Number 48. Blindfolded Sikh prisoners. During the Battle of Singapore in 1942, Japanese soldiers were photographed using blindfolded Sikh prisoners for target practice. The advancing Japanese soldiers look full of hatred, while the Sikh prisoners are in a very sad and hopeless situation. This picture captures the harsh reality of war in the region, marked by intense fighting and the capture of prisoners. This event played a big role in changing the direction of the war in Southeast Asia during World War II. Number 47. A dog in parachute. In 1944, during World War II, an interesting photo was taken of a dog wearing a parachute. This picture shows a unique side of the military. At that time, the military was always coming up with new ideas, and training animals for special missions was one of them. These animals showed great bravery and were trained to do important jobs on the battlefield. Number 46. Soviet invasion of Prague. During the chaos of the Soviet invasion in 1968, a brave photographer snapped the precise moment when Soviet tanks first entered Prague. Despite great danger, this photograph was daringly smuggled out of Czechoslovakia. It offered the world a unique and vivid glimpse into the harsh reality of the invasion, revealing its brutality directly and powerfully. Number 45. Gas-proof stroller test. A picture of a woman was taken in 1938 in Hexhall, England, as she tried out a specially made stroller designed to withstand gas attacks. This new idea came from the lasting worry about chemical weapons after World War I, and it was made just before World War II started. The photo became clearer and famous as the British government tried hard to protect civilians, especially children, from possible poison gas dangers. Number 44. The Laughing Spy. In November 1942, during the Continuation War, a strange photo was taken when an intense event took place in Ruka, a village in Finland. A Finnish soldier was about to execute a man believed to be a Soviet spy. Surprisingly, this supposed spy was laughing as he faced death. Finland had teamed up with Germany to fight against the Soviet Union. Both sides were known for their harsh treatment of prisoners. The Finns were desperate to reclaim the land they had lost to the Soviets during the Winter War and to keep their nation free and independent. Amid this chaos, the laughing spy's execution stood out as a bizarre and unsettling moment in the war. Number 43. Smokey Buchanan. In 1925, Smokey Buchanan from the West Palm Beach Police was captured in a photo, carefully checking the length of Betty Fringle's swimsuit in Palm Beach. There were strict rules in place for beach attire during that era. These regulations were introduced by authorities to uphold specific standards for swimwear, which were designed to align with the societal and moral values of the 1920s. Number 42. Moai statues. In an astonishing photo captured in 1922, a group of men visited Easter Island in Polynesia and were amazed by the gigantic Moai statues. These huge stone figures, carved long ago by the island's early residents, captured the attention of explorers and scientists. The statues, standing tall and majestic, filled everyone with wonder and curiosity about their mysterious origins and the impressive skills of the people who made them. Number 41. A punt gun. In an old photograph, a man is seen holding a punt gun, which is a very large shotgun specifically designed for hunting ducks. This remarkable firearm could take down more than 50 birds in a single shot. It was both effective and harsh for hunting practices in those days. Typically mounted on small boats known as punts, these guns were favored by commercial hunters aiming to maximize their catches. However, because of the severe impact on bird populations, the use of punt guns was banned in the late 1960s. Number 40. Ellis Island family. In 1904, a German couple who had recently moved to America took a photograph with their 8 children on Ellis Island. This family, like many others, had journeyed across the Atlantic Ocean looking for new chances and a brighter future. Ellis Island, where millions of immigrants first set foot in the United States, represented hope and new beginnings for all who arrived there. Number 39. Soba noodles. In 1935, a delivery man carrying boxes of soba noodles, a traditional Japanese dish, was captured in a photo. He skillfully rode his bicycle, balancing many boxes with just one hand. Soba noodles have been and remain a beloved part of Japanese culinary tradition. Number 38. Coast Guardsmen. During the war in 1943, images of the crew of the Coast Guard cutter Spencer were taken as they stood on the deck and witnessed a powerful explosion from a depth charge. This blast destroyed a German submarine known as a U-boat. This event took place during the Battle of the Atlantic, a critical campaign where Allied forces worked hard to protect their convoys from these dangerous submarines. The U-boats were a serious threat because they attacked supply ships that were essential for the Allied war effort. Number 37. Rat catcher of Liverpool. A rat catcher employed in Liverpool, UK, was photographed while working in the city's sewers. These workers, crucial for controlling the rat population in Europe, play a significant role in preventing diseases, including the Black Plague, from spreading to humans. They also safeguard food supplies from rodents. With their specialized skills, rat catchers provide essential defense against health and economic risks posed by infestations of these pests. Number 36. Messenger dog. In 1915, during World War I, a photo was taken of a dog handler receiving a message from a messenger dog. This courageous dog had just crossed a canal in France by swimming. Animals like these played very important roles for armies, especially in difficult terrains where normal ways of communication could fail. Messenger dogs were trained specifically to carry important information through enemy lines and over natural obstacles. Their bravery and ability were extremely valuable during wartime. Number 35. Chester McDuffie. In 1914, a photograph captured Chester McDuffie in New York wearing a special diving suit designed to withstand the pressures of the deep sea. McDuffie had crafted this innovative suit himself, incorporating advanced ball bearings that greatly enhanced his ability to move and stay safe in the ocean's depths. With this groundbreaking suit, he achieved a remarkable feat, setting a new record for American deep-sea diving by descending to a depth of 212 feet. Number 34. The BMW Isetta. A picture of a couple standing beside their tiny BMW Isetta, a microcar, shows a small and compact vehicle that became well-liked in the years after World War II. This car symbolizes innovation and adjusting to the new economic needs of that time. The BMW Isetta, with its unique front door design and fuel economy, represented the search for easy and practical transportation during the rebuilding and expansion of the 1950s. Number 33. Rescued Jewish prisoners. Jewish prisoners were shown in a photo after being saved from a death train at the end of World War II in 1945. The photo captures the moment of great relief and new freedom for these survivors who endured the horrors of the Holocaust. During the Nazi era, death trains were used to transport Jews and other prisoners to concentration and extermination camps. Number 32. Soviet radio reaction. In 1928, Soviet peasants were photographed while listening to the radio for the first time. The photos capture their reactions to this new way of communicating, which was just beginning to reach the remote areas where they lived. The radio, seen as a symbol of progress and modern times, started to link these isolated villages with the rest of the world. It brought them news, music, and government messages, changing their everyday lives. Number 31. Red Cross dog. In 1915, a British soldier who was injured had his picture taken while receiving bandages from a specially trained Red Cross dog. These dogs were incredibly important during the war because they helped carry medical supplies and helped soldiers who were hurt. The Red Cross dogs wore small backpacks filled with bandages and other medical items. They were sent to places that were too dangerous for human medics to go easily. Number 30. A diver in Mississippi. In 1938, a pearl diver from the Mississippi River in the United States was photographed as he prepared to dive into the river. His unusual diving gear included a car's gas tank turned into a makeshift helmet. This improvised helmet acted like an air chamber, enabling the diver to breathe underwater while he searched for pearls in the deep river. Number 29. Japanese captives. During World War II, pictures of prisoners who faced the grim possibility of a quick death from their Japanese captors appeared. This clear picture shows the harsh way prisoners of war were treated, especially by the Japanese, who were widely criticized for ignoring human rights. The war had brutal acts from all involved, but Japan's treatment of prisoners was notably infamous. Many prisoners were captured and regularly executed, enduring awful conditions while locked up. Number 28. Dust storm. In Texas. In 1935, during the Texas Dust Bowl, a photo of a massive dust storm was taken looming on the horizon, ready to swallow everything in its path. During this challenging period, rural communities faced severe hardships and difficult conditions. Dust storms, triggered by bad farming methods and intense droughts, transformed large areas into barren deserts. This catastrophe ruined crops and compelled countless families to leave their homes and farms behind. Number 27. Marine Raymond Hubert. A photo of Marine Raymond Hubert was taken while cleaning out the sand that had piled up in his jar after 3 tough days of fighting. He was using a huge, unexploded 16-inch naval shell as a place to rest. It was July 4th, 1994, and the Marines were dealing with incredibly harsh conditions. They faced blazing heat, rough and challenging landscapes, and non-stop attacks from Japanese forces. This was all part of the Allies' plan to free the Pacific from Japanese control. The Allies used a strategy called island hopping, where they would capture one Japanese-controlled island at a time, slowly moving closer to Japan. Number 26. The colored light pistol. In 1950, a photograph captured a fascinating invention from Germany, the colored light pistol. It was a novel stun weapon designed when civilians were not allowed to carry guns. This pistol provided a safe way to defend oneself without causing harm, available in bright colors to catch the eye. Known as the Lee's pistol, it not only ensured safety but also added a unique and almost playful aspect to personal protection. Number 25. Mayan ancient statue. In 1885, explorers made a remarkable find deep within the jungles of Honduras. They captured an image of an ancient statue from the Mayan civilization. This archaeological discovery is the cultural and historical legacy of the Mayans, who thrived in Mesoamerica. The statue, concealed for centuries by thick vegetation, offered invaluable insights into Mayan art, religion, and society, shedding light on their fascinating way of life. Number 24. Christmas in Underground Shelter. On December 25, 1940, during the bombings that were destroying London, a photo was taken of a group of people who had found safety in an underground shelter. Despite the darkness and fear around them, they decided to celebrate Christmas. Children laughed, adults exchanged invented gifts, and a spirit of togetherness and hope filled the air. Number 23. West Berlin food shortage. In 1948, Soviet soldiers surrounded West Berlin, leading its residents to face shortages of food. However, their only hope came from the skies. American planes full of supplies were pictured as they landed. Crowds gathered eagerly to greet these flying rescuers. Children waved happily, while adults cheered loudly. Each delivery represented unity and resistance in tough times. Number 22. JFK Presidential Campaign. In October 1960, the busy streets of New York were filled with excitement. Senator John F. Kennedy and his wife Jacqueline Kennedy were actively campaigning for the presidency. A stunning photograph of them was taken. Wherever they went, eager crowds gathered, attracted by the couple's charm and youthful vigor. Jacqueline, with her distinct elegance, matched JFK's pledge for a new beginning for America. Each campaign stop was a lively event, reflecting the shared hope for a new period in American politics. Number 21. Homemade selfie stick. Back in 1957, well before smartphones and digital cameras, a creative individual came up with a clever idea. He used a stick to take a photograph of himself. With a big smile and a thinking pose, he held out his homemade selfie stick. This impressive and groundbreaking moment clearly shows a time when photography was becoming a personal way to express oneself, even without today's high-tech gadgets. Number 20. James Dean car accident. On September 30, 1955, the well-known actor James Dean met a sad end on a road in Cholame, California. His Porsche 550 Spyder was completely wrecked in a crash, with a picture showing the terrible scene. At only 24 years old, Dean, who was already a symbol of rebellion and youth, surprised the world by leaving it unexpectedly. This significant moment stopped in time, preserving a young talent lost too early and representing how delicate life can be amidst the rapid rise and fall of fame in Hollywood. Number 19. British schoolchildren under desk. British schoolchildren were photographed during an air raid drill, hiding under their desks. At that time, people in Britain lived in constant fear of bombings by the German Air Force, known as the Blitz. To keep children ready for these attacks, schools often practiced air raid drills. Even though hiding under desks wouldn't protect them from a bomb, these drills helped keep the children calm and gave them a feeling of being prepared. Number 18. Hyde Park romance. In 1945, in Hyde Park, London, an American soldier while he was on leave from the war. He was with his girlfriend lying on the grass. They shared a sweet, loving moment as he kissed her passionately. A photograph of this kiss was taken, and it became a lasting memory. Number 17. Titanic. On April 11, 1912, a newspaper photographer named Thomas Barker took a picture of the back of the Titanic when it made a short stop in Queenstown, Ireland. This spot on the ship was a popular place for third-class passengers to get some fresh air and enjoy the view. Just 3 days later, that very part of the ship was the last to sink beneath the cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean when the Titanic went down. Number 16. Royal House of Naples. In 1873, a young boy named Victor Emmanuel from Naples who would one day become King Victor Emmanuel III of Italy, was photographed holding a picture of his grandfather, King Victor Emmanuel II. The photograph wasn't just about family pride, but also the heavy responsibility and tradition that the young prince would have to carry when he grew up. It captured the ongoing legacy of the royal family and the bond between generations. Number 15. French biplane. In 1916, during the chaos of the First World War, a photograph was taken of a French biplane soaring through the skies of France. These airplanes were crucial for the war. They flew on missions to gather information, keep watch over enemy movements, and sometimes even fought in battles high above the ground. In the picture, you could see the display of new technology in military planes, as well as the incredible courage of the pilots. Number 14. Painted cow. A farmer was captured in a photo, carefully painting bright white stripes on her cow. This clever action aimed to make the animal more visible at night, reducing the risk of accidents involving cars. This precaution became crucial, especially during blackout periods when road lights were scarce or completely absent. Number 13. Test flight mishap. In 1962, aircraft tester George was captured in a picture when he had a near-death experience when he was unexpectedly thrown sideways out of his plane during a test flight. His ejection from the aircraft led to a dramatic landing in a nursery near the crash site. As a result of the fall, he suffered fractures in both legs, but remarkably, he survived. This incident was due to the dangerous challenges that test pilots faced during a time of fast progress in aviation. Number 12. Paris Temple Barricade. On March 18, 1871, at the start of the Paris Commune, a photo of people putting up barricades on Rue de la Fontaine-au-Roi and Rue du Faubourg Saint-Honoré-Temple was captured. Paris was in chaos, with citizens standing up for their revolutionary beliefs against government troops. These barricades weren't just physical obstacles. They were powerful symbols of resistance and the longing for change. Number 11. Robin Williams. In 1978, when Robin Williams was just 27 years old, something incredible happened a few weeks after his show Mork and Mindy started airing, which was also captured in a photo. The show was a massive hit right from the start, and suddenly, Robin found himself becoming very famous. To celebrate his quick rise to stardom, he was on his way to a big party at Studio 54, a famous nightclub in New York City. Number 10. August Landmesser. In 1936, during a ship launching ceremony in Hamburg, Germany, a man, later recognized in a photo as August Landmesser, boldly chose not to salute Hitler. This act of defiance was remarkable because Landmesser had married Irma Eckler, a Jewish woman, defying Nazi racial laws. This led to severe persecution. Landmesser was imprisoned multiple times and eventually torn apart from his family. Tragically, Irma was sent to a concentration camp where she perished. During the war, Landmesser was forced to score the army and later disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Number 9. One-wheel motorcycle. In 1933, a photo was taken of Davide Cislaghi, an Italian inventor, trying out his groundbreaking one-wheel motorcycle in France. This unique vehicle, sometimes called a motorized unicycle, was created to balance and travel using just one tire. It defied the usual norms of motorcycle design, pushing the boundaries of innovation in transportation. Number 8. The Great Gamma. In the early 20th century, Ghulam Mohammad Bakhsh Butt was widely recognized as Rustam-i-Hind and also known by his ring name, the Great Gamma. He was a celebrated wrestler in British India. His remarkable prowess and physical might were captured on camera and earned him the title of undefeated World Wrestling Champion in 1910. His exceptional abilities made him a legendary figure not only in India, but worldwide. Number 7. Hindenburg Disaster. In a picture taken, the German airship Hindenburg caught fire and blew up at the U.S. Naval Station in New Jersey on May 6, 1937. This tragic event caused the deaths of 36 people, occurring at the end of a 60-hour journey across the Atlantic from Germany. The sight of the Hindenburg on fire became a lasting symbol. This event marked the end of a time often praised as the golden age of these huge skyships. The disaster greatly shook the world community and had a big effect on aviation, speeding up the decline of airships as a way of carrying passengers. Number 6. Soldiers begging for mercy. In 1951, a photo showed Chinese soldiers begging for help from a South Korean soldier during the Korean War. This touching moment happened during the intense and chaotic fighting that divided the Korean peninsula. The Chinese had teamed up with North Korea, while South Korean soldiers, supported by the United States and other countries, fought hard to defend the South. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the quiet upper room of an old Victorian house, young Emma found a dusty box labeled Family Treasures. Among old letters and small items lay an old photograph that caught her attention, a brownish picture of her great-grandfather Joseph in uniform, standing proudly next to a woman in a long dress, her face partly hidden in darkness. Interested, Emma took the photo downstairs, where her grandmother Margaret sat by the fire. Margaret gasped and reached for the picture, her hands shaking. She looked at it for a long moment, tears filling her eyes. As Margaret started to tell the story behind the photo, Emma listened in amazement. The woman in the picture wasn't just any friend, but Joseph's true love, Isabella. A love that society and family rules had kept them apart. Joseph, a soldier who bravely fought in the war, never came back to Isabella after he was called back to duty. His sacrifice had been keeping their love secret, even from his own family. What are your thoughts on Emmanuel's discovery? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Number 5. British blinded soldiers. This powerful photograph captures British soldiers who have been blinded by poisonous gas, bravely making their way in a line toward a dressing station in April 1918. The use of poisonous gas, like mustard gas, resulted in soldiers experiencing temporary or permanent blindness, severe burns, and serious breathing problems. Number 4. Child workers in Philadelphia. In 1902, a photograph captured young workers in the streets of Philadelphia standing together with determination. Led by union activist Mother Jones, a strike against child labor drew attention to the harsh conditions faced by children in factories and mines. Some of these children were as young as 6 years old. They bravely demanded improved working conditions and an end to the exploitation of child labor. This historic event gained nationwide notice, prompting significant reforms in labor laws and protections for children across the United States. Number 3. Female anti-fascist fighters. During the Spanish Civil War of 1936, a photograph captured numerous women fighting as anti-fascist fighters. These brave women not only fought on the front lines, but also organized supplies and support troops. Their tales of courage and defiance against fascist nationalist forces inspired many and are celebrated as a crucial part of Spain's struggle for freedom during that turbulent time. Number 2. Elvis Presley. A photo shows Elvis Presley, who joined the military in March 1958, pausing his music career at its peak. Instead of asking for special treatment because he was famous, Elvis decided to fulfill his military duty. This choice received a lot of praise and made people think even more highly of him. He started at Fort Hood, Texas, where he did basic training with the 3rd Armored Division before going to West Germany. During his time in the Army, Elvis took his time very seriously, earning respect from the other soldiers and officers. His dedication to serving his country made people think highly of him, not just for his music. Number 1. Sad Dog. In a remarkable photograph, a group of children cared for and fed a dog in England after its owner passed away in 1936. They took turns providing food, shelter, and companionship to the dog. Despite their efforts, the dog's face revealed a deep sadness, likely due to missing its owner and being unaware of what had happened to them. Which of these old photos that could change your perspective on the past did you find the most intriguing? Let us know your answer in the comments section.